You're listening to Aftermath Radio, broadcasting on all emergency frequencies across what remains of the solar system communications network. I'm Marcus Reed.
And I'm Elena Shaw. If you're just tuning in, we've been on the air for approximately 30 minutes since the first confirmed reports of orbital bombardment reached Earth Command. What we're about to tell you is not a hoax. This is not a drill. The galactic war that has been raging in distant star systems for the past 18 months has finally reached our doorstep.
Let me bring everyone up to speed with the facts as we understand them. At approximately 0700 hours Universal Coordinated Time, long-range sensors at the Jupiter Monitoring Station detected a massive fleet emerging from hyperspace near the orbit of Neptune. Initial estimates suggested approximately 400 warships of various classifications. That number has since been revised upward to over 600 vessels.
We need to be very clear about what this means for everyone listening. The fleet that has entered our solar system belongs to the Vorthani Dominion, one of the primary belligerents in the ongoing galactic conflict. The Vorthani have been expanding aggressively across the outer rim for the past 3 years, and they have now set their sights on the Sol system and Earth itself.
I'm reading now from a statement issued approximately 15 minutes ago by Admiral Helena Chen at Earth Defense Command. Quote, at 07:15 hours this morning, a hostile fleet belonging to the Vorthani Dominion entered the Sol system. Earth Defense Forces have been placed on maximum alert. All civilian spacecraft are ordered to return to their nearest port immediately. Citizens on orbital stations and lunar colonies should proceed to designated shelter areas. This is not a drill. Repeat, this is not a drill. End quote.
The Vorthani Dominion, for those who haven't been following the galactic conflict closely, is a militaristic civilization that controls approximately 140 star systems in the Perseus arm of the galaxy. They've been at war with the Aldrani Coalition and the Terran Alliance, which includes Earth, for the past 18 months. Until today, the fighting has been confined to systems far from Earth, places with names most of our listeners have never heard: Kepler 442, Gliese 667, TRAPPIST-1.
But the war has now come home, and I want our listeners to understand the stakes. The Vorthani have demonstrated in previous engagements that they do not take prisoners, they do not negotiate. Their goal is total conquest and the subjugation of all species they encounter. The population of the planets they've conquered, we're talking about billions of beings, have either been enslaved or exterminated.
We're receiving our first messages from listeners, and I want to share some of them because I think they capture what people are feeling right now. This first one comes from a woman named Sarah in New Chicago. She writes, I'm watching the sky from my apartment window. I can see the defense satellites activating, little points of light moving into formation. My children are asking me what's happening. I told them it's just a drill. I couldn't tell them the truth. How do you tell a 7-year-old that aliens have come to destroy us? Please, if anyone knows what's going to happen, please tell us.
Sarah, I wish I could offer you certainty. What I can tell you is that Earth's defenses are formidable. We have the orbital defense network, the lunar batteries, and the home fleet. We are not helpless. But I won't lie to you, the force approaching is massive, and the outcome of this battle is far from certain.
We're receiving word now that the Vorthani fleet has split into 3 groups. One group is heading toward the lunar colonies. Another is moving to engage the home fleet near Mars. The third and largest group is continuing on a direct course toward Earth. Current projections suggest they will reach weapons range of our planet in approximately 14 hours.
14 hours, that's how long we have before the enemy is in position to strike at our world. I want our listeners to understand what that means practically. If you're in a designated shelter area, stay there. If you're not, get to one as quickly as possible. If you have family members you need to contact, do it now. Communications may become unreliable as the battle develops.
I have another message here, this one from a man named David at the Armstrong Lunar Colony. He writes, we can see them on our telescopes. The Vorthani ships, they're like nothing I've ever seen. Dark, angular, covered in weapons platforms. There must be dozens of them heading our way. The colony administrator has ordered everyone to the deep shelters, but I don't think it matters. If those ships decide to bombard us, the shelters won't save us. We're 2,000 people on a rock in space with no real defenses. Please, someone tell me help is coming.
David, I have to be honest with you. The lunar colonies are vulnerable. Earth Defense Command is aware of the threat, but resources are stretched thin. The priority has to be the defense of Earth itself. That said, I'm seeing reports that several destroyer squadrons have been dispatched to intercept the Vorthani force heading toward the moon. Help is coming, but I can't promise it will arrive in time.
We're now approximately 1 hour into this crisis, and I want to provide some context about the broader galactic situation. The war that has now reached Earth is part of a much larger conflict involving dozens of spacefaring civilizations across the Milky Way. At its core, this is a struggle for control of the galaxy's resources and strategic positions.
Let me break down the major factions for our listeners who may not be familiar with the players. The Vorthani Dominion, as I mentioned, controls about 140 systems in the Perseus Arm. They're a hierarchical, militaristic society ruled by a caste of warrior priests. Their technology is advanced, particularly in weapon systems and shield generation. They believe they are destined to rule the galaxy and view all other species as either servants or obstacles.
Opposing the Vorthani is the Aldrani Coalition, a loose alliance of about 80 star systems centered in the Sagittarius Arm. The Aldrani are an ancient species, one of the oldest in the galaxy, and they've been fighting to contain Vorthani expansion for centuries. They're technologically sophisticated, especially in energy manipulation and faster than light travel, but their population is declining and their military resources are stretched thin.
Earth is part of the Terran Alliance, which includes all human colonized worlds, about 30 systems in total. We're relative newcomers to the galactic stage, having only achieved interstellar travel about 200 years ago. Our technology is less advanced than either the Vorthani or the Aldrani, but we've made up for it with numbers and adaptability. The Terran Alliance has been a crucial ally to the Aldrani coalition in this war.
There are also neutral parties trying to stay out of the conflict. The Keth Collective, a hive mind species controlling about 50 systems near the galactic core. The Solari Merchants Guild, which operates a vast trading network and has been selling weapons to all sides, and dozens of smaller civilizations hoping the storm will pass them by.
We're receiving word now that the first engagement of the battle has begun. Earth Defense Force destroyers have made contact with the Vorthani Advance Squadron near the orbit of Uranus. I'm seeing reports of weapons fire being exchanged. The battle for the Sol system has officially begun.
I have a message here from a naval officer aboard the EDF Constellation, one of the destroyers engaged in the fighting. He writes, "We're outnumbered 3-1, but we're giving them hell. Our railguns are punching through their shields. I've seen 2 Vorthani cruisers go up in flames already, but they keep coming. For every ship we destroy, 2 more take its place. We'll hold them as long as we can, but someone needs to know, these bastards aren't invincible. They bleed just like we do."
That message from the Constellation is both inspiring and sobering. Our forces are fighting bravely, but the odds are against them. The Vorthani have numbers on their side, and numbers matter in space combat.
We're now approximately 2 hours into this crisis. I want to provide an update on the global response. The United Earth government has declared a state of planetary emergency, the first in human history. All military reserves have been activated. Civilian production facilities are being converted to war footing. The entire human species is mobilizing to defend itself.
I'm reading from a statement just issued by Secretary General Amara Okonkwo. Quote, "Citizens of Earth and all human colonies, we face the gravest threat in our history. An enemy has come to our home, an enemy that seeks our destruction. But we will not go quietly. Humanity has survived ice ages and plagues and world wars. We have spread across the stars. We will not be conquered by those who would enslave us. Today we fight. Today we stand together. Today we show the galaxy what humanity is made of." End quote.
The Secretary General's words are stirring, but I know many of our listeners are wondering about the practical implications. What does this mean for everyday life? What should people be doing right now?
Let me address that directly. If you're in a major city, proceed to your designated shelter area. These shelters are designed to withstand orbital bombardment and are stocked with supplies for extended stays. If you're in a rural area, move to the nearest community shelter, or if none is available, to the most structurally sound building in your area. Basements and underground structures offer the best protection.
We're receiving word now that the Vorthani force heading toward the lunar colonies has engaged the destroyer squadron sent to intercept them. The fighting is intense. I'm seeing casualty reports coming in. The EDF Valiant has been destroyed with all hands. The EDF Resolute is heavily damaged and withdrawing.
The defense of the moon is not going well. The Vorthani have overwhelming numerical superiority in that sector. I'm seeing projections now that suggest the lunar colonies may be within enemy weapons range within the next 4 hours.
I have a message here from a family at the Tycho base colony. The mother writes, "We're in the shelters. It's crowded down here. Hundreds of people, mostly women and children. The men who could fight have gone to help with the colony's defenses for whatever good that will do. My daughter is 8 years old. She asked me if the aliens are going to hurt us. I told her no. I told her Earth would protect us. I hope I wasn't lying. Please, please don't let me be lying."
To everyone in the lunar colonies, I want you to know that you're not forgotten. Earth Defense Command is doing everything possible to protect you. But I also have to be honest, the situation is dire. If evacuation becomes possible, take it. If it doesn't, prepare for the worst and hope for the best.
We're now approximately 3 hours into this crisis. The main Vorthani fleet continues its advance toward Earth. Current projections suggest they will reach engagement range with the home fleet near Mars orbit in approximately 6 hours. That engagement will likely determine the fate of our planet.
I want to discuss the home fleet for our listeners because understanding our defenses helps understand our chances. The home fleet consists of approximately 120 capital ships, including 12 dreadnoughts, 35 heavy cruisers, and the rest being destroyers and support vessels. It's the largest concentration of human military power in history.
But the Vorthani force heading toward us numbers over 400 capital ships in the Mars-bound group alone. Even with our orbital defenses and the advantages of fighting in our home system, we're facing nearly 4-to-1 odds.
I have a caller on our emergency line now. This is Captain Marcus Williams of the EDF Thunderchild, currently deployed with the home fleet. Captain Williams, can you hear us?
Captain Williams, what can you tell our listeners about the mood aboard your ship and in the fleet?
Captain Williams is describing the atmosphere aboard the Thunderchild as tense but determined. He says the crew knows the odds, but they also know what's at stake. He says he's served with these men and women for years and he's never seen them more focused or more committed. He says they're not fighting for glory or politics, they're fighting for their families back on Earth.
Captain Williams, do you have any message for our listeners?
Captain Williams says he wants everyone to know that the fleet will not break. He says they will fight until the last ship, the last missile, the last breath. He says the Vorthani may destroy them, but they will never defeat them. He says humanity doesn't know how to surrender, and they're about to teach the enemy that lesson.
Thank you, Captain Williams. Stay safe. We'll be thinking of you.
We're now approximately 4 hours into this crisis. I have an urgent update on the lunar situation. The Vorthani fleet has reached the Armstrong colony and has begun orbital bombardment. I'm seeing reports of massive explosions on the lunar surface. The colony's dome has been breached.
Oh, God. How many people were in that colony?
Armstrong colony had a population of approximately 2,400 people. The shelters might protect some of them, but a dome breach means catastrophic decompression in the surface areas. Emergency protocols would have been activated, but the colony was not designed to withstand this kind of attack.
I have a message that came in just before communications with Armstrong were lost. It's from a man named Thomas, a mining engineer. He writes, "They're bombing us. The whole dome is shaking. I can hear the impacts, feel them in my bones. The lights keep flickering. People are screaming. We got most of the children into the deep shelters, but there wasn't enough room for everyone. Some of us stayed behind to help with the evacuation. I don't think we're getting out of this. If anyone receives this message, please tell my wife in New Tokyo that I love her. Tell my son to be brave. Tell them I was thinking of them at the end."
Thomas's message may be his last. We don't know his fate. We don't know how many survived the bombardment. What we know is that the Vorthani are attacking civilian targets, civilian populations without mercy or restraint.
We're receiving word now that the other lunar colonies are also coming under attack. Tycho Base, Copernicus Station, the mining outposts in the Sea of Tranquility. The Vorthani are systematically targeting every human settlement on the moon.
Total population of the lunar colonies is approximately 80,000 people. If the Vorthani continue their bombardment, civilian casualties could be catastrophic. This is not a military engagement. This is extermination.
I have another message here, this one from the commander of Tycho Base, Colonel Jennifer Hayes. She managed to get a brief transmission out before communications were jammed. She says, To Earth Defense Command and all who can hear this, the Vorthani are not accepting surrender. We tried. We broadcast our intention to surrender on all frequencies. They responded by increasing the bombardment. They're not here to conquer us. They're here to destroy us. Adjust your strategies accordingly. Hayes out.
Colonel Hayes' message confirms our worst fears. The Vorthani are not interested in negotiation or occupation. They are pursuing a policy of total annihilation. This is genocide on an interplanetary scale.
We're now approximately 5 hours into this crisis. The situation on the moon is deteriorating rapidly, but I want to update our listeners on the broader picture. The main Vorthani fleet continues its advance. Engagement with the home fleet is now projected in approximately 5 hours.
I've been monitoring communications from our allies, and I have some news that might offer hope. The Aldrani coalition has dispatched a relief fleet to the Sol system, approximately 200 warships, including some of their most powerful dreadnoughts. They're coming to our aid.
When will they arrive?
That's the problem. The Aldrani fleet is currently 18 hours away at maximum hyperspace velocity. The battle for Earth will likely be decided before they arrive. Our forces will have to hold the line alone until help comes.
18 hours. So even if we survive the initial assault, we have to hold out for 18 hours against a force that outnumbers us 4-1.
That's the reality we're facing. But 18 hours is not forever. If the home fleet can inflict enough casualties on the Vorthani, if they can slow the enemy's advance, there's a chance. A slim chance, but a chance.
I have a message here from a woman named Dr. Lisa Park, a xenobiologist who has studied the Vorthani for decades. She writes, I've spent my career trying to understand the Vorthani, their culture, their psychology, their motivations. They are not evil in the way we typically understand evil. They believe with absolute sincerity that they are the chosen inheritors of the galaxy. All other species are either resources to be exploited or threats to be eliminated. There is no negotiating with this belief. There is no compromising with it. The only language the Vorthani understand is force. We must demonstrate that conquering humanity will cost them more than it's worth. That's our only hope.
Dr. Park's analysis aligns with everything we know about Vorthani behavior in previous engagements. They respect strength and despise weakness. If we want to survive, we have to make them pay in blood for every inch of space.
We're now approximately 6 hours into this crisis. The lunar colonies have gone silent. We've lost contact with all human settlements on the moon. Whether anyone survived the bombardment, we don't know. The last transmission we received was a distress signal from Tycho Base, and then nothing.
I want to take a moment to acknowledge what we've likely lost. 80,000 people lived in those colonies. Scientists, engineers, miners, families, children who had never seen Earth's blue sky but dreamed of it. They woke up this morning expecting an ordinary day. Now they're gone or fighting for their lives in sealed shelters, waiting for rescue that may never come.
I have a message here from a man named Robert, whose wife and daughter were at Armstrong Colony. He writes, I was supposed to join them next month. I was finishing up a contract on Earth, and then we were going to be together as a family. Now, I don't know if they're alive or dead. I can't reach them. Nobody can tell me anything. I'm sitting in a shelter in Berlin, surrounded by strangers, and I feel like part of me has already died. If you're out there, Marie, if you can hear this, I love you. I love you both. Please be alive, please.
Robert, we don't have information about survivors from Armstrong Colony, but I want you to know that rescue operations will be launched as soon as the military situation allows. Don't give up hope.
We're receiving word now that the Vorthani fleet near the moon has begun moving again. They've finished with the lunar colonies and are now heading toward the main engagement zone near Mars. They're joining the assault on our home fleet.
That means the enemy force that the home fleet will be facing is now even larger than projected. We're looking at over 500 capital ships against our 120. The odds have gone from bad to catastrophic.
We're now approximately 7 hours into this crisis. The stage is set for the decisive battle. Within the next few hours, the fate of humanity will be determined in the space between Earth and Mars.
I want to share some messages from members of the home fleet who have sent final transmissions to their loved ones, knowing that they may not survive the coming battle. These are personal messages, but the senders have asked that they be read publicly so that their words will be remembered.
This first message is from Lieutenant Maria Santos aboard the heavy cruiser Defiant. She writes, Mom and Dad, if you're hearing this, it means I didn't make it. I want you to know that I'm not afraid. I knew when I joined the Navy that this day might come. I chose to serve because I believe in something bigger than myself. I believe in humanity. I believe in our right to exist, to grow, to reach for the stars. The Vorthani want to take that from us. I won't let them. Whatever happens, know that I love you and I am proud to have been your daughter.
Another message comes from Ensign James Cooper aboard the destroyer Vigilant. He writes, "To my little sister, if I don't come home, I need you to be strong for Mom. She's going to need you. Don't let her give up. Don't let her sink into grief. Keep her laughing, keep her moving, keep her living. That's the best gift you can give me. And when you look up at the stars, remember that your big brother is out there somewhere, still watching over you." And
these messages are heartbreaking, but they also show the courage of the people who are about to fight for our survival. They know the odds. They know many of them won't be coming home, and they're going anyway.
We're now approximately 8 hours into this crisis. The Vorthani fleet has completed its consolidation and is now advancing toward the home fleet's defensive position near the Martian orbit. Contact is expected within the next 2 hours.
I have an update from Earth Defense Command. Admiral Chen has issued a final order of the day to the fleet. Let me read it in full. Sailors of the home fleet, the hour we have trained for has arrived. Behind us is Earth, our families, our homes, everything we love. Ahead of us is an enemy that seeks our annihilation. There will be no retreat. There will be no surrender. We will hold the line or we will die trying. But I want every one of you to know this. We are not alone. The Aldrani are coming. Help is on the way. All we have to do is hold until they arrive, fight hard, fight smart, fight for each other. And remember, they may have numbers, but we have something they can never understand. We have hope, Chen out.
Admiral Chen's words capture the desperate nature of our situation. We are fighting a holding action, trying to survive long enough for our allies to arrive. It's not a strategy designed for victory. It's a strategy designed for survival.
We're receiving word now that the Vorthani have launched their opening salvo. Long-range missile fire has been detected heading toward the home fleet's position. The battle for Earth has begun in earnest.
I'm seeing real-time updates from Fleet Tactical. The home fleet is activating point defense systems. Missiles are being intercepted, but the volume of fire is enormous. Some missiles are getting through. I'm seeing damage reports already. The cruiser Relentless has taken a direct hit to its engine section.
We're now approximately 9 hours into this crisis, and the battle is fully engaged. The home fleet has closed to weapons range and is returning fire. Both sides are exchanging devastating volleys.
I have a caller on our emergency line. This is Commander Sarah Mitchell, tactical officer aboard the dreadnought Invincible, Admiral Chen's flagship. Commander Mitchell, can you tell us what you're seeing?
Commander Mitchell is describing a scene of incredible violence. She says ships are dying all around them. The space between the fleets is filled with fire, debris, and the bodies of the dead. She says the Vorthani are taking heavy casualties, but they're not slowing down. They keep coming wave after wave.
Commander Mitchell, what's the status of the home fleet?
Commander Mitchell says the fleet has lost approximately 30 ships in the first 2 hours of the engagement. That's a quarter of their strength. She says they're inflicting similar casualties on the enemy, but the enemy can afford to lose ships. The home fleet cannot.
Commander Mitchell, is there any hope?
Commander Mitchell is pausing. She says there's always hope. She says they've managed to destroy several Vorthani carriers, which means the enemy's strike craft capability is diminished. She says if they can take out the enemy flagship, it might throw the Vorthani command structure into disarray. She says they're trying everything.
Thank you, Commander. Stay safe. We're all thinking of you.
We're now approximately 10 hours into this crisis. The battle continues to rage near Mars. Casualty reports are flooding in from both sides. The home fleet has been reduced to approximately 70 operational ships. The Vorthani have lost over 150 vessels, but the enemy still outnumbers us more than 3-1.
I want to share a message from a civilian observer on Mars, Dr. Chen Wei, who has been watching the battle through the colony's telescopes. He writes, "I can see the flashes from here, bright bursts of light against the backdrop of space. Each flash is a ship dying. Each flash is hundreds of lives ending in an instant. It's beautiful in a terrible way, like fireworks announcing the end of the world. I've spent my life studying the stars. I never thought I'd watch them become a graveyard."
We're receiving word now that the Mars colonies have begun evacuation procedures. Transport ships are lifting off from the surface, heading toward Earth. Whether they'll make it through the battle zone is uncertain.
The Mars colonies have a population of approximately 300,000 people. Getting them all off the surface is impossible. They're prioritizing children, essential personnel, and those with critical skills. Everyone else is being told to shelter in place and hope.
I have a message from a mother at the Olympus Mons settlement. She writes, "They're loading the children onto transports. My son is 7 years old. I put him on a ship and told him to be brave. I told him mommy would meet him on Earth. I don't know if that's true. Parents aren't being evacuated. There isn't room. I might never see him again, but at least he has a chance. At least he'll live. That's what matters. That's the only thing that matters."
The sacrifices being made across the solar system right now are beyond comprehension. Parents giving up their lives to save their children. Soldiers fighting impossible odds to buy time for civilians to escape. This is humanity at its most desperate and its most noble.
We're now approximately 11 hours into this crisis. The battle near Mars has reached a critical phase. The home fleet has been reduced to approximately 50 ships, but they've managed to destroy or disable over 200 Vorthani vessels.
I have an urgent update from Fleet Command. Admiral Chen has ordered a tactical withdrawal. The remaining ships of the home fleet are falling back toward Earth, drawing the Vorthani fleet after them. The goal is to bring the enemy into range of Earth's orbital defense network.
That means the Vorthani are coming to Earth. There's nothing left to stop them except the orbital defenses and whatever ships survive the retreat.
The orbital defense network is formidable. Thousands of weapons platforms, missile batteries, and directed energy weapons. It was designed to repel exactly this kind of assault, but it was never tested against an enemy this powerful.
I have a message from a soldier at one of the orbital defense platforms, Station Delta 7. He writes, "We've been watching the battle on our sensors. The fleet is falling back. That means it's our turn. I'm 23 years old. I never thought I'd die in space, but if this is where it ends, at least I'm dying to protect something that matters. At least I'm not running. When you tell the story of today, remember us. Remember that we held the line as long as we could."
We will remember. Whatever happens, we will remember every single person who stood between humanity and extinction.
We're now approximately 12 hours into this crisis. The remnants of the home fleet have reached Earth orbit and are integrating with the orbital defense network. Approximately 35 ships remain operational out of the original 120. The Vorthani fleet, still numbering over 200 capital ships, is less than an hour behind.
I want to address our listeners directly. Within the next hour, the Vorthani will be in weapons range of Earth. Orbital bombardment may begin. I urge everyone who is not already in a shelter to get to one immediately. This is not a time for delay. Every minute counts.
We're receiving word now that the Aldrani relief fleet has increased its speed. They're pushing their engines beyond safe limits, trying to reach us faster. New arrival estimate is approximately 6 hours.
6 hours. We need to survive for 6 more hours. If we can hold out until the Aldrani arrive, the combined fleet might be strong enough to turn the tide.
I have a message from Admiral Chen aboard the Invincible. She sends, "To all citizens of Earth, the enemy is at our doorstep. We have done everything in our power to slow them down. Now it falls to you. Stay in your shelters, look after each other, do not lose hope. The Aldrani are coming. We just need to hold a little longer. I believe in you. I believe in humanity. Chen out."
Admiral Chen's message is both inspiring and sobering. She's telling us that the fleet has done all it can. Now the defense of Earth falls to the orbital platforms, the planetary defenses, and our own resilience.
We're now approximately 13 hours into this crisis. The Vorthani fleet has entered Earth orbit. They are engaging our orbital defense platforms. I'm seeing reports of massive explosions in space visible from the ground.
The orbital defense network is putting up fierce resistance. I'm seeing reports of Vorthani ships being destroyed by platform fire, but the platforms are also being destroyed. Station Alpha 3 has gone offline. Station Beta 9 is reporting critical damage. The network is being torn apart piece by piece.
I have a message from a family in a shelter in Sao Paulo. The father writes, "We can hear the explosions. Even down here underground, we can feel the vibrations. My children are crying. My wife is praying. I don't know what to do. I've never felt so helpless. We've put our lives in the hands of strangers in space, and all we can do is wait. Please, God, let them hold. Please let us live."
To everyone in shelters around the world, I know how terrifying this is. I know the helplessness you feel. But you're not alone. The people fighting above us are fighting for you. They're giving everything they have. Honor their sacrifice by staying strong.
We're receiving word now that the Vorthani have begun orbital bombardment of military targets on Earth's surface. Military bases in North America, Europe, and Asia are reporting strikes. Civilian areas have not been targeted yet, but that may change.
The Vorthani strategy appears to be to eliminate our ability to fight back before moving to civilian extermination. They want to destroy our military infrastructure, our command and control, our industrial capacity. Only then will they turn their attention to the population.
We're now approximately 14 hours into this crisis. The orbital battle continues. The defense network has been reduced to approximately 40% effectiveness. The home fleet has lost another 8 ships, but they're still fighting. They're still holding.
I have an update from Fleet Tactical. The Vorthani flagship, a massive dreadnought called the Dominion's Wrath, has moved into a forward position. Admiral Chen has ordered a concentrated strike against it. If they can destroy the flagship, it might disrupt Vorthani command coordination.
I'm seeing reports of multiple Earth ships converging on the enemy flagship. This is a desperate gamble. If it works, it could turn the tide. If it fails, we lose the ships we can least afford to lose.
The Invincible is leading the attack. Admiral Chen herself is commanding the assault on the enemy flagship. I'm seeing weapons fire being exchanged at close range. The 2 dreadnoughts are trading devastating blows.
I have a transmission from the Invincible's bridge. Someone is broadcasting in real time. I'm hearing explosions, shouting, the sound of metal tearing. Someone is yelling that the shields are down. Someone else is ordering damage control teams to Deck 7. It's chaos.
Wait, I'm seeing something. The Dominion's Wrath is venting atmosphere. There are secondary explosions along its hull. The ship is losing power.
And the Invincible, Marcus, I'm seeing reports that the Invincible has rammed the enemy flagship. They've driven their ship directly into the Dominion's Wrath.
Both ships are breaking apart. I'm seeing debris fields expanding from the collision point. The Dominion's Wrath is gone, but so is the Invincible.
Admiral Chen, the entire crew of the Invincible, they sacrificed themselves to take out the enemy flagship. That's over 3,000 people who gave their lives in a single instant.
Their sacrifice may have saved us all. I'm seeing reports of confusion in the Vorthani fleet. Their command structure appears to be disrupted. Ships are breaking formation. Some are colliding with each other. The death of their flagship has thrown them into chaos.
We're now approximately 15 hours into this crisis. The destruction of the Dominion's Wrath has shifted the momentum of the battle. The Vorthani are regrouping, but their advance has stalled. The orbital bombardment has paused.
I want to take a moment to honor Admiral Elena Chen and the crew of the Invincible. They knew what they were doing when they made that final attack. They chose to die so that we might live. Their names should be remembered for as long as humanity endures.
I have a message from the Secretary General, Amara Okonkwo, addressing the sacrifice of the Invincible. She says, "The crew of the Invincible have shown us what courage truly means. They faced certain death and did not flinch. They gave everything, the ultimate everything, for people they would never meet. There is no greater love than this. We will honor them, we will remember them, and we will make sure their sacrifice was not in vain."
The Aldrani relief fleet is now less than 4 hours away. If we can hold until they arrive, we have a real chance of winning this battle.
The remaining Earth forces are rallying. Captain Williams of the Thunderchild has assumed command of the fleet. He's coordinating with the orbital defense platforms, organizing the remaining ships into a cohesive defense. They're not giving up.
I have a transmission from Captain Williams. He says, "All ships, all stations, this is Acting Fleet Commander Williams. The Admiral gave her life to give us this chance. Don't waste it. Form up on the defense line, pick your targets, make every shot count. The Aldrani are coming. All we have to do is hold. Williams out."
We're now approximately 16 hours into this crisis. The Vorthani have reorganized and resumed their attack, but their assault is less coordinated than before. The death of their flagship and the disruption of their command structure has left them operating in smaller, independent groups.
This actually works to our advantage. The Vorthani are most dangerous when they're coordinated, when they're executing complex tactical maneuvers. Operating in scattered groups, they're easier to defeat in detail.
I'm seeing reports of individual Vorthani ships being destroyed by concentrated fire from multiple platforms. The enemy is still dangerous, still numerous, but they're no longer overwhelming.
I have a message from a gunner at Orbital Platform Echo 5. He writes,
We've been fighting for hours. My station has taken 3 hits. 2 of my crewmates are dead, but we're still firing. Every time I pull the trigger, I think about my little girl back on Earth. I think about what these monsters would do to her if we fail. And I keep firing. I'll fire until there's nothing left to fire at.
We're now approximately 17 hours into this crisis. The Aldrani relief fleet has been detected on long-range sensors. They'll be in the system in less than 2 hours.
This is the final stretch. We need to hold for 2 more hours. Just 2 more hours.
I have a message from the commander of the Aldrani relief fleet, Admiral Vethalar. The transmission was received by our deep space arrays. He sends, "To the defenders of Earth, hold your positions. We are coming. The full might of the Aldrani coalition rides to your aid. The Vorthani will learn that there is no place in this galaxy where aggression goes unanswered. Your courage has inspired us. Your sacrifice has shamed us. We should have been there sooner, but we are coming now, and we will not fail you."
Admiral Vethalar's words are reassuring. The Aldrani are not just coming to help, they're coming to win. 200 warships, including their most powerful dreadnoughts. When they arrive, the balance of power will shift dramatically.
We're receiving word now that the Vorthani are aware of the approaching fleet. Their scouts have detected the Aldrani on their sensors. This changes their calculations. They know they have a limited window to destroy Earth before reinforcements arrive.
That makes the next 2 hours extremely dangerous. The Vorthani may launch a desperate all-out assault trying to complete their objective before the Aldrani can intervene.
I'm seeing reports of Vorthani ships breaking off from the main battle and heading directly toward Earth. They're ignoring the defensive platforms, ignoring our remaining ships. They're going straight for the planet.
This is exactly what I feared. They're trying to bombard Earth before the Aldrani arrive. Even if they lose the battle afterward, if they can destroy our cities, our infrastructure, our population, they'll consider it a victory.
I have an urgent message from Captain Williams. He says, "All ships capable of pursuit, follow those contacts. We cannot let them reach Earth. Repeat, we cannot let them reach bombardment range."
The remaining Earth ships are racing after the Vorthani attack group. It's a desperate chase. If the Vorthani reach bombardment range before they can be stopped, millions will die.
We're now approximately 18 hours into this crisis. The race is on. Vorthani ships are less than 30 minutes from optimal bombardment position. Earth ships are in pursuit, but trailing by several minutes.
I have updates from the chase. The Thunderchild has managed to close the gap and is engaging the rearmost Vorthani ships. They're destroying some, but the main force is still advancing.
The orbital platforms are rotating to engage the approaching ships, but many of the platforms in that sector have already been destroyed. There are gaps in the defense network.
I'm seeing projections. If the current trajectory holds, approximately 15 Vorthani ships will reach bombardment range before they can be stopped. That's enough firepower to devastate multiple cities.
I have a message from a civilian in Tokyo, one of the cities projected to be in the bombardment zone. She writes, "We can see them now, points of light moving across the sky. Everyone knows what they are. The shelters are full. There's nowhere left to go. I'm standing on my balcony, watching the end approach. If these are my last moments, I want to spend them looking at the sky. It's still beautiful. Even now, it's still beautiful."
We're now approximately 18 and a half hours into this crisis. The first Vorthani ships are entering bombardment range. I'm seeing weapons charging.
Wait, something is happening. I'm seeing new contacts on the sensor feed, multiple contacts emerging from hyperspace. It's the Aldrani. They've arrived early.
The Aldrani fleet is engaging the Vorthani bombardment group. I'm seeing weapons fire. The lead Aldrani dreadnought, the Eternal Vigilance, has destroyed 2 Vorthani cruisers in the first exchange.
They made it. Against all odds, they made it in time.
The Vorthani bombardment group is in disarray, caught between the Aldrani fleet and the pursuing Earth ships. They're being destroyed piecemeal. The threat to Earth's cities is being neutralized. And
I'm seeing the main Vorthani fleet beginning to withdraw. They're recognizing that the strategic situation has changed. With the Aldrani fleet now in the system, their numerical advantage is gone.
We're now approximately 19 hours into this crisis. The battle is turning. The combined Earth and Aldrani forces are pursuing the retreating Vorthani. The enemy is in full retreat.
I have a transmission from Admiral Vethalar. He says, "To the forces of Earth, well done. Your courage and sacrifice have been extraordinary. Now, together, we will drive these invaders from your system. Not one Vorthani ship will escape, not one."
The pursuit is underway. Earth and Aldrani ships are chasing the retreating enemy, destroying stragglers, preventing them from regrouping. What began as an extinction-level assault is becoming a rout.
I'm seeing casualty figures being updated. The Vorthani have lost over 300 ships in this engagement. Their remaining force, approximately 200 vessels, is attempting to flee toward the outer system where they can escape to hyperspace.
I have a message from Captain Williams aboard the Thunderchild. He says, "This is for Armstrong Colony. This is for the lunar settlements. This is for Admiral Chen and the Invincible. This is for everyone we've lost. Make them pay, make them regret the day they set eyes on the Sol system."
We're now approximately 20 hours into this crisis. The pursuit continues. The Vorthani are taking heavy casualties as they try to escape. Aldrani ships, faster and more maneuverable, are running down the stragglers.
I'm seeing reports of Vorthani ships surrendering. This is unprecedented. The Vorthani do not surrender, but faced with annihilation, even their warrior code appears to have limits.
Admiral Vethalar is accepting the surrenders. The Aldrani have rules about treating prisoners, even enemies, as ruthless as the Vorthani. The captured ships are being boarded and secured.
We're now approximately 21 hours into this crisis. The battle is effectively over. Approximately 100 Vorthani ships have been destroyed in the pursuit. Another 50 have surrendered. The remaining 50 to 60 have escaped to hyperspace.
The Sol system is secure. Earth has survived. The invasion has been repelled.
I want to take a moment to let that sink in. 21 hours ago, we faced extinction. A massive enemy fleet was bearing down on our world with the intent to destroy every human being alive, and we stopped them. Not alone, but together with our allies. We stopped them.
The cost has been enormous. I'm seeing preliminary casualty figures, approximately 80,000 dead in the lunar colonies, 3,000 killed aboard the Invincible, another 15,000 naval personnel lost in the battle, 10,000 dead from strikes on military facilities on Earth, over 100,000 casualties in total.
100,000 lives, 100,000 families shattered. It's a staggering loss. And yet, without the courage of those who fought and died, the death toll would have been measured in billions.
I have a message from the Secretary General addressed to the people of Earth and the Aldrani Coalition. Let me read it. Citizens of Earth and our friends among the Aldrani, today we have survived the greatest threat our species has ever faced. We have paid a terrible price, but we have endured. The battle is won, but the war is not over. The Vorthani Dominion still exists. They will regroup. They will come again. But now they know something they did not know before. They know that humanity fights. They know that we do not surrender. They know that we stand with our allies and our allies stand with us. Today is a day of grief, but it is also a day of hope. We have proven that together, the free peoples of this galaxy cannot be conquered.
We're now approximately 22 hours into this crisis. The immediate danger has passed, and recovery operations are beginning. Search and rescue teams are being dispatched to the lunar colonies to look for survivors.
I have a message from a rescue coordinator at Armstrong Colony. Against all odds, some of the deep shelters survived. They've found approximately 300 survivors so far, including children. The search continues.
300 survivors out of a population of 2,400. It's heartbreaking, but it's not zero. There are people alive who we thought were lost.
I have another message, this one from Robert, whose wife and daughter were at Armstrong. He writes, "They found them, my wife and daughter. They were in the deepest shelter, the one closest to the core. The shelter held. They're being evacuated now. I'm going to see them. I'm going to hold them. I don't have words for what I'm feeling. Just thank you. Thank you to everyone who fought. Thank you to everyone who prayed. Thank you."
Robert's reunion is a light in the darkness. Even in the midst of terrible loss, there are moments of joy.
We're now approximately 23 hours into this crisis. The aftermath is beginning to take shape. Debris fields are being mapped. Damaged ships are being towed to repair facilities. The long process of rebuilding begins.
I have an update on the broader galactic situation. The defeat of the Vorthani fleet at Earth is sending shockwaves through the galaxy. This is one of the largest defeats the Dominion has suffered in years. It will significantly weaken their position in the overall war.
Admiral Vethalar has given a statement about the strategic implications. He says the Vorthani gambled everything on a quick victory at Earth. They hope to knock the Terran Alliance out of the war and isolate the Aldrani coalition. Instead, they have lost over 300 ships and gained nothing. This defeat will haunt them for years. Their fleet is weaker, their reputation is damaged, and the coalition is stronger than ever.
We're receiving word now that other coalition members are pledging additional support. The Keth Collective, which had been neutral, has announced that it is joining the war against the Vorthani. They've committed 50 ships to the coalition fleet.
The Solari Merchants Guild has announced that they will no longer sell weapons to the Vorthani. They've seen which way the wind is blowing.
The galaxy is rallying against the aggressors. What the Vorthani hoped would be a crushing blow has instead unified their enemies.
We're now approximately 24 hours into this crisis, one full day since the invasion began. As I look back on what we've experienced, I'm struck by how much has changed.
Yesterday, humanity wondered if it would survive. Today, we're planning for a future in a galaxy where the balance of power has shifted in our favor. It's a remarkable transformation.
I have a message from a soldier who fought in the battle, a young woman named Sarah who served aboard the cruiser Defiant. She writes, "I've been awake for 30 hours. I've seen friends die. I've killed enemies I never met. I'm exhausted beyond words, but I'm also proud. Proud of what we did, proud of what we stood for. When I'm old and my grandchildren ask me what I did in the war, I'll tell them about today. I'll tell them about the day humanity stood up to the darkness and refused to fall."
Sarah's words capture something essential about this moment. We have been tested in ways we never imagined, and we have not been found wanting.
We're now approximately 25 hours into this crisis. Recovery operations continue. Survivors are being found. The dead are being honored. And plans are being made for what comes next.
I have an update from Military Command. The Terran Alliance and the Aldrani Coalition are planning a counteroffensive. Instead of waiting for the Vorthani to attack again, they're going to take the fight to enemy territory.
The strategic logic is sound. The Vorthani are weakened. Their fleet is depleted. This is the moment to press the advantage.
But it means more war, more battles, more death. This conflict is far from over.
I have a message from a military analyst named Dr. James Morrison. He writes, "The Battle of Earth was a turning point, but not an ending. The Vorthani Dominion still controls over 100 star systems. Their industrial capacity is vast. They will rebuild their fleet. They will come again. The only way to truly end this threat is to defeat them in their own territory, to break their capacity to wage war. That will take years, perhaps decades. We've won a battle. Winning the war is another matter entirely."
Dr. Morrison's analysis is sobering but realistic. We've survived immediate destruction, but the path ahead is long and difficult.
We're now approximately 26 hours into this crisis. As we begin to look toward the future, I want to share some final messages from listeners.
This first message comes from a father in New Chicago who sheltered with his children throughout the battle. He writes, "My kids slept through most of it. They were exhausted from fear and ended up falling asleep in the shelter. When they woke up, I told them we were safe. My son asked if the good guys won. I said yes. He smiled and asked for breakfast. Children are resilient. They remind us why we fight."
Another message comes from an elderly woman in Mumbai. She writes, "I am 92 years old. I have lived through many wars, but I never thought I would live to see aliens try to destroy my world. And I never thought I would see such bravery, such sacrifice, such unity among the people of Earth. If I had to die, I was ready. But I am glad to live. I am glad to see what humanity has become."
A final message comes from a child, a 10-year-old girl named Emily in London. She writes with her mother's help, "Dear radio people, thank you for talking to us all night. I was really scared, but hearing your voices made me feel less alone. I'm glad the good guys won. I want to be an astronaut when I grow up and help protect Earth from the bad aliens. Thank you for keeping us safe."
Emily, thank you for your message. Your dream of being an astronaut is wonderful. The people who protected us today were once children with dreams just like yours. Hold on to that dream.
We're now approximately 27 hours into this crisis. The immediate emergency is over, and we're transitioning to regular programming. But before we close this extended broadcast, I want to offer some final reflections.
27 hours ago, we began broadcasting in the midst of an invasion. We didn't know if we would survive to finish. We reported on battles and bombardments, on courage and sacrifice, on loss and hope. We tried to be a voice of information and comfort in the darkness.
We witnessed the worst that the galaxy can throw at us, and we witnessed the best of what humanity can be. We saw people give their lives for strangers. We saw communities come together in the face of extinction. We saw enemies become allies and allies become heroes.
The cost has been enormous. Over 100,000 dead, entire colonies destroyed, families shattered. The scars of this day will be with us for generations.
But we're still here. Humanity endures, and more than that, we've proven something important. We've proven that we're not alone in the galaxy, that we have friends who will come to our aid, that together we can face even the most terrible threats.
I have a final message from Admiral Vethalar before he returns to Aldrani space. He sends, "To the people of Earth, it has been my honor to fight alongside you. Your courage today has earned you the respect of every free civilization in the galaxy. The Aldrani do not forget our debts. We will stand with you until this war is won. Until that day, farewell, and may the stars watch over you."
Admiral Vethalar's words are a fitting conclusion. We are not alone, we have allies, and together we will prevail.
We're now concluding this emergency broadcast. Regular programming will resume shortly. But before we go, I want to thank everyone who listened, everyone who stayed with us through the long night. Your messages, your stories, your courage sustained us as much as we tried to sustain you.
The war continues. The battles ahead will be difficult, but for now, take a moment to breathe. Hug your families, look up at the stars, and know that we've earned our place among them.
This is Aftermath Radio. I'm Elena Shaw.
And I'm Marcus Reed.
The crisis is over, the future begins, and humanity faces it together.
Stay safe, stay strong, and remember what we learned today. We are capable of more than we ever imagined.
This has been Aftermath Radio. We'll be back.
Until next time, look to the stars. They're ours now. We've earned them.